LA Ghetto Time News. What's up, y'all? Man, just want to get a breakdown on them Egyptian gods. So, what we got right here is Infradezi. If I ain't mistaken, that's his name. Infradezi. This is a old school flick. It's called Real Comedic Knowledge and History. Um, just want to get some comedic scholarship out there, and giving you a breakdown on Seth. So remember I told y'all last time, Seth used to be a primary god, a desert god, and so the attributes of him. So basically, let's just see Infradezi just break it down for y'all on Seth. This to my Hebrew, so we get our schooling on and study and learn these comedic gods, things of that nature. Let's get it in.
Let us continue where we were the last conversation. The last conversation we were talking about Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, and so we were talking so much about religion, good and evil. And one of the things I wanted to say is that after Nama united Samaltawi, he brought in Amin-Ra, and then Amin-Ra was overthrown at the end of the first dynasty, and then Set was brought in. And many people have thought that Set represents evil.
Now, you hear what he said? He said first dynasty. He said Norma brung in the Ra worship. And it wasn't until after Ra where Seth became the main deity god. Pay attention, fam.
Evil. I have not agreed with that. I would like to hear what you have to say about Set, his worship, and his contribution to ourselves, and the contribution to the divine legacy of Samaltawi Kemet.
Give thanks. I'm glad you mentioned the word, the name Smai Tarwi, because Smai Tarwi means the unity of the two regions, and that was the official name of the civilization of the Nile. Many people speak of Kemet, but Kemet was just the northeastern section of Smai.
Excuse me, fam. This is Haru. My bad. This is Haru. They look alike to me. But this is Haru. Sorry about that, fam. Let's continue.
Tarwi, Tarseti, now known as Nubia or Ethiopia, was another region to the south of this great united region. To speak about Set, though, Set at one time in our legacy was had a benevolent aspect to it, because actually Set is unbridled force, and Set represents the challenge to Heru. And without Set, Heru really has no purpose for being, and that is why in the battle between Heru and Set, when Heru had got the better of Set and was about to slay Set, his mother said, "No, bind him," indicating that Set would live to fight another day.
And then she unbind him.
Right. Precisely, she let him go.
She let him
and
go.
Of course, Heru then, in his reflex action, knocked off her crown,
yeah.
and Tahuti came and put the crown of Het Heru on her head, the disc and the horns. So, now, Set did not become malevolent or bad until the Het Shasu, the shepherd kings, came in and they adopted Set as their deity. That is when you find that the Nile Valley Africans really did not like Set, and he became malevolent. It's good to remember that many of the kings took, and of course in the second dynasty, took the name Set.
Mm-hmm.
Some even took the name Set Heru.
Mm-hmm.
You would see sometimes on the temple walls that Set and the head of Set and Heru was on one body.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Pertem Heru, the Book of the Coming Forth, mislabeled the Egyptian Book of the Dead, they refer to the two fighters within me, which is Heru and Set, our higher nature, Heru, and the lower nature, Set. In the body temple, the higher region and the lower region is divided by the heart center, the heart arit, or gateway, known as a chakra in the Indian system. That Heru was given the region from the heart to the head, and then Set was given the region from the lower part of the heart to the gonads. All right, but then Geb, who was the presiding over the tribunal of the battle between Heru and Set, gave it all to Heru, which means that all the kings and queens that sat on the Nile Valley Queen Kingdom throne, they took the title Heru, and their job was to restore Ma'at, to take the lower energy and bring it up to the higher regions. Set represents gravity, Heru represents levity. That is why you would see in the glyphs, you would see that Heru is symbolized as a falcon, and Set is an animal always sitting down with a tail that has the shape of a television antenna, rabbit ears, just like that. And I always tell the brothers and sisters, I said, the battle between Heru and Set, Set took out Heru's eye, which is what happens when you're too much into the TV set. You lose your eye. And the Setian culture...
You lose your consciousness.
Precisely, which is your eye.
Yes.
Okay, but it's good to remember, we should remember that Set is not necessarily evil. Set is your challenges. The evil is Apap. Apap, which unfortunately has this name Papa to it. And
it does, doesn't it?
Now you heard what he said. Now that's mighty funny, because these are the same people that attack the Bible and talking about the God and Satan's battles in the Bible, but we tell them ain't no battle in the Bible. The Yahweh still rules Satan. So he's explaining the story in the exact same manner that the Bible does. But we got it confused though.
We're not going to talk about the definition of Papa.
Not on this show.
No, we won't. Yeah.
Okay.
But the fact is that is evil. That's the crystallization of evil. You would see on the temple walls, you would see both Heru and Set on the boat fighting the enemies of Ra, Apap. And they're both putting spears in the folds of Apap.
That's true.
Because Apap is evil crystallized.
Right.
And the individual must sometimes marshal his higher and lower forces to deal against that evil that comes from without.
In fact, it has been said this way, that if we did not have Set in us, that we would not be able to survive.
Precisely.
Because people would just run over us.
What? That's called free will, right? Again, the Torah teaches you about free will and how not to use it or abuse it. You see the metaphor that he just gave for it? He just said, so Set lives inside of a human. Okay, that's the same spiritual guidance that the Torah tells you about. That the Satan was created to give you a balance. It's the same thing the Torah say. So, educational lessons, man. We're going to get it right.
The Muslims codified it as the inner jihad, and it's the same definition, same connotation as Set. You must fight the evil within inside yourself.
That's right.
Fight your lower nature to rise to your higher consciousness, which Heru represents,
Indeed, and even the Hu or the Sphinx represents the same thing. It shows the head on a lion's body. The lion represents.
But one thing about this, fam, my personal opinion, every God that's ever been spoke of throughout history, I believe that they were real live humans. See, this is the problem. When it turns into something negative and wicked, they call it mythology. They call it a spiritual level. It's within you, the battle within you, so forth and so on. That's not what pre-dynastic history tells us. So, these are key things you got to understand. So, just giving y'all a breakdown, real comedic knowledge in history. I forgot it, Haru. This is Haru, and just trying to give y'all some knowledge, man, on the short attribution aspect that he given about Seth. But one thing you gotta remember, the followers of Seth, we talking pre-dynastic times, first dynasty, second dynasty, cannibal hymns, sacrifices to the gods, so forth and so on. So this to my Hebrews, man. Research that. Attack time. Silverback mode on them. That's how we do it. LA Ghetto Time News. Hebrews up, heathens down. Now check this one out, fam. They're going to get into Newton Geb, and he's going to tell you. He's going to break it down. This is a breakdown. They breaking down the psychological history and what does it mean dealing with the gods, so forth and so on. So Newton Geb. Now watch what he says about Mother Nature, Geb, so forth and so on. And so my point is, fam, go on Google and punch up Newton Geb, and you're gonna see Geb with a rod going to his goddamn mouth. And then you're gonna see Newt she got a goddamn rod. Oh my god, they got two rods stretched. And so they trying to tell you about duality. My thing is, what kind of shit is this to be teaching? This is like homo class. What, even fathoming of teaching this to your children by just letting them see the damn photo, which I'm gonna show you the photo after I show this little clip right here. So watch the breakdown on Newton Geb. This is the foolery of these guys.
Like, one of the things that Americans, Europeans, and black people do is they always talk about Mother Earth. In the Kemetic legacy, there was no Mother Earth. It was Geb, Father Earth, and Newt, who was the mother in the sky. Can you speak on that for a minute, please?
Sure. Well, just like in the Chinese, they speak of the yin and yang. On Earth, there is a mother aspect to the Earth, and that's the topsoil out of which the plant emerges. You see, from the womb of the Earth, from the womb of the soil. However, the bedrock on which this Earth rests is masculine. The metals in the Earth are all masculine. Ptah, who is the knitter of metals, is shown as a masculine deity, all right? But in Ptah, there is concealed the feminine T, because in our legacy, the T is a feminizer, symbolizes the breast. Of course, the Egyptologist says it's a loaf of bread, but even so, it's still a nurturing principles to help your life.
Even Kemet ends in the T.
Precisely.
Right, yeah.
Showing again
the feminine aspect of it, yes.
And the king wore the double crown that had a cobra and a vulture.
Both female, yes.
Wachit and Nekabet.
Mm-hmm.
And that was known as the two ladies' name of the king, because we saw the land as feminine, that we served the mother principle. And the king was also entitled Insut Biti. Okay, again.
Okay, so let's look at this goddamn Newton Geb picture, man. So now, fam, as we can see, let me blow this up for y'all, so we won't get no misunderstandings around here. Because what you say is the Egyptian walls talk. Like, y'all ain't gotta say nothing. Just let them walls talk. Okay, this your boy Geb. So, what he was saying earlier, because we're going to get a replay on what he said after this, he said that it was a duality. No, Mother Nature wasn't Earth. But it had aspects of a female. Now, this right here, Papyrus, British Museum, 10/018, that God is doing masturbation with his mouth to produce, reproduce from her sin. So let me go back. So my thing is, explain that. See, they again, he's putting it so eloquently, so poetically. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You know, it's beautiful. Okay, I don't want to do too much reading though, but I just want to basically just show y'all this. I just want to show y'all where it's at in the museum. So, they found this up in somebody's house. 1150 BC. Necessary furnishings to enhance an erotic atmosphere. Mixing it with the goddess of love and things like that. So he's putting it eloquently. Like, if somebody come up to you and call you beautiful, like, I don't want no girl coming up to me and call me beautiful, but you supposed to embrace that because that's a duality, things of that nature right there. So the walls talk, the papyruses talk, the papyruses talk. You cannot explain that, man. Don't you see what he's doing right now? Man, even if you trying to put it in a symbolic way, why does it have to look like that? So now you can see the nature of these people. But again, if you living off free will, man, this is the shit that you just think of. Like, free will is like, today I'm gonna walk outside naked. Today I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna just go kill somebody. Hey, this free will, we don't have a concept of evil or good. It's a balance. Which I think they did have a concept of evil and good. But see, you gotta understand, this is your world. Your world doesn't apply to everybody. If that's what y'all did and y'all felt like back then, that's what y'all did and y'all felt like. So, look at this. Okay, so we dealing from the Turin erotic papyrus. Geb and Newt in a position. What this say right here? A sketch from the Turin erotic papyrus. This is in the British Museum. They know what the hell they talking about because they taught y'all the metaneta, right? The Geb and Newt position. The girl is bent over in a position reminiscent of that goddess Nut, the sky, when during the creation of the world she was separated from Geb, the earth. The man carries a sack over his shoulder and takes her from behind. It has been suggested that the picture represents a Moorish adventure of a priest of Amun, god of the universe, and the priestess Hathor, the goddess of love. Now they switching it up. So, you know, different. They ain't got it figured out. I guess y'all got it figured out. Y'all need to tell me what the hell that is. Is that sister and brother? Is that sister and brother? Okay. Let's see. Trying to see something, man. So y'all can just read all this yourself, man. So anyway, now let's get back and let's rewind what he said. And let's see if what he says match up with this. And let me show you another thing, fam. Now I ain't gonna show y'all that. So let's just get back to what he say. And so, just to let y'all see it in its entirety, this is an authentic picture. Look, she got it, he got it. Phallics. Wait a minute, the woman has a phallic? And Geb has a phallic? Man, explain that. You guys gonna have to explain that right there. Cause I don't care how you explain it. This is not normal to a person who doesn't live off of free will. This is not normal. This is something that you can never convince me to say, oh yeah, I understand what they were saying. Oh yeah, man, it's all good. Yeah, I understand it, man. The woman has a male principle and he got the female principle and all that. Man, but his shit touching his goddamn lips. And this fool trying to explain it in an elegant way. Ha! So, fam, I made a mistake. So let me stand correct on that source of that damn Newton Gale papyrus that they found. So as you can see right here, man, it's at the British Museum papyrus museum number. Just get that, write that number down right there. Book of the Dead. Hanudawa. Forgive me if I ain't pronouncing that right. Okay, so as we can see, just want to give y'all the information on it. My bag for misquoting. Okay, now let's see right here. Okay. Now let's read this. The scene of the autofellatio is a variant on the usual scene of the cosmos as Newton Gale. However, specifically, the night sky seems to be more represented, and as a male who is identified as Osiris, foremost of Westerners, makers of heaven, makers of earth, makers of the underworld, and other figures, is identified as Geb, the father of the gods, and the great God who made the earth and all the sun in circles. The fact that Osiris is enthiphallic presumably refers to the fact that he is potent and resurrected, while Geb's autofellatio is presumably a way of representing him as self-sustaining, fertile, like the masturbating creator God. Although alone, he is still capable of creation. So, what is this saying? They telling you that Newt is represented as Osiris of the sky. Again, that male feminine aspect. The way that you putting it in, this is the European version of it. We heard Haru's version of it. Two different damn versions of it. But guess what? Both of them sound twisted and conflicted. That's why I said you study, fam. We get this work in. So just want to give y'all the proper website where to find it and all that. My bag. Newt in the form of Osiris. Geb masturbating in his own goddamn mouth because he's self-sustaining, fertile. This shit is crazy. So Just want to make that clear right there. And so, if you notice my videos, fam, I'm telling you, fam, this is not something that I like bringing up. No, this is an educational video right now. I'm giving you the perspective of the schoolmasters. This is a schoolmaster, and he's giving his interpretations of ways of describing the culture system of the Egyptians. So I am not attacking. I'm showing what you have on your walls. I don't get all into that homo thing and all that. I don't do all that. But crash course lesson, man. And so the way I see it is just like a person like Michael Jackson. The guy is real sensitive. So what he does is he likes to hug kids and touch them all the time and all that. But in his mind, he like, no, I'm not like that. But his actions are feminine, and he the type of guy where he'd lay in the bed with kids and all that stuff. So this is called free will, because we've been talking about this for a minute, fam, and we're gonna cover all the basics of this free will religion, this worship. We gonna get it in the air, and so this is all free will right here. Because don't think for a second that you didn't have other people in other places looking at these people, stepping into their kingdom and like, God damn, what the hell? Especially if you a sheep herder coming into a big city. You like, man, what the hell? Images everywhere. But let's continue. So let's hear what he say again and really digest what he's saying.
And black people do is they always talk about Mother Earth. In the Kemetic legacy, there was no Mother Earth. It was Geb, Father Earth,
Precisely.
and Nut, who was the mother in the sky.
Mother
Can you
sky.
speak on that for a minute, please?
True. Well, just like in the Chinese they speak of the yin and yang, on Earth there is a mother aspect to the Earth, and that's the topsoil out of which the plant emerges. You see, from the womb of the Earth, from the womb of the soil. However, the bedrock on which this Earth rests is masculine. The metals in the Earth are all masculine. Ptah, who is the neter of metals, is shown as a masculine deity, all right? But in Ptah, there is concealed the feminine T, because in our legacy, the T is a feminizer, symbolizes the breast. Of course, Egyptologist says it's a loaf of bread, but even so, it's still a nurturing principles to help your life.
Even Kemet ends in the T.
Precisely.
Right, yeah.
Showing again
The feminine
the
aspect
feminine
of it,
aspect
yes.
and the
And so, fam, you heard it, man. He put it together so eloquently, so smooth and so soft. Go on and follow that shit you want to. Go on and follow it you want to. Because in today's time, when the average male, thoroughbred, strong, heterosexual male looks at this, and I hope they see this video, you're going to say, what the fuck was that? And Geb, Nut, in the time of Dejer, Third Dynasty, hey, this ain't no new story right here. Paintings change. We can call that a late rendition of a painting. But who's to say that painting, just because they ain't found it, that don't mean that they ain't have. Okay, so they found it in a house. That don't mean other houses didn't have that same painting. What the hell is one person gonna sit there and have a painting like that in their house on the papyrus or whatever, and you think it wasn't for sale in a store? Huh. You gotta be a fool if you think it was just what you call it, a limited edition. Man, they was selling that all up in the stores, man. Come get Newton Gale with the rods. We got them new paintings. So again, fam, you want to attack the Hebrews, you will be attacked. Every day you step outside, every day I'm going to step outside. And so, let's move on.